Sweet baby angel, and here I am. It's time for you and I to sit on the couch and say how much we love each other. Or the complete opposite of that, I'm fine. Let's just do it.
You want the trash, I got it all for you. Let's rehash the mess together. A sassy hole that only speaks the truth. Nobody gaslights you better.
Hello, I'm Wilko, the guy who rehashes reality, and welcome to Wilko Rehash. This season is for Married at First Sight Australia for 2023. We are past the halfway point, and thank goodness, because what a show it's been this year. Very confusing narrative. We're about to get into another episode. It is the Commit Me couch, and that can only mean that a bunch of people who should leave won't leave. But I guess we'll see. I'm expecting a lot of couples to go. Before we get there, make sure you like this video. Hopefully you have subscribed to the channel. And if you want that premium content, even with some trial periods and even a fully free, forever freemium subscription, you can get some premium gear at rehashed.com.au. Rehashed.com.au. Sign up now. Oh yeah, it's replacing the Patreon. Patreon sucks ass. So we've moved it to something way better, and everybody who is currently on Patreon, you would have received a message from me to move over to the new platform. It's all ready for you, mostly, ready to go, so check that out now. All right, we have to do a whip around the Sky Suites, the Love Lab Rat Maze, and just see how everybody is doing. There is one couple that we believe in. Yeah, still?
Cute earrings.
Yeah, they are actually cute.
Get the good love energy.
Actually.
Honey, would you say that these earrings are symbolic?
Oh, Sandra.
No,
I'll be
Rapola's not
John.
Indian.
Now, Tani, I can see you've got some earrings. What's the symbolism? Tani, answer the question.
Okay, the John's good. The Rampola needs a lot of work. It sounds like Rampola's from a different place than what she actually is from. All right, so there's one couple that are doing well. Do we need more than one couple that are doing well? I suppose like Mel and Leighton a little bit. But apart from that, I don't think I'm buying any other couple surviving this, even if they stand in front of each other at the final, recommit. Vow renewal. When they renew their vows at the end of the MAFS time, I think Ollie and Tani are going to be the only ones that stick. All right, so there's a Jessie bit coming up, a bit with Jessie in it, and I've got to be very careful with any facial expression I give, any groan, any sort of micro movement in my face, because the Jessie fans are very vocal. And even though I say much more pointed words at other Love Lab rats, anything I say about Jessie will result in me being biased and out of control against Jessie. Which I don't care enough to be biased. I don't particularly like the guy, but that goes for a lot of them. And if you like him, cool.
Went in thinking, it'll be pretty cruisy, won't kick off, we'll be fine. Nah,
It's a dinner party.
after what Harrison said, that Claire, she doesn't want to be seen by Australia as a cheater, so she wrote stay so she can repair her image. Who and what do I believe? Is she stringing me along and using her voodoo just to kind of keep me here against my will? I really do have feelings for Claire.
Well, it's not voodoo, Jessie. Also, that Frankenstein bit of the I really do have feelings for Claire. I don't believe any of it, editors. I don't think Jessie has feelings for Claire. Maybe he did at the start because she was hot, but then, she made some noises in the airport and then he was out. Too many icks, he was done. And then the little vape and kiss, which really sealed it. Oh, that and the gaslighting. Yeah, so I can see why they're not a match. I can see why it's good. I've got to pull up Jessie. Careful. Got to pull up Jessie on this. And this goes for all the Love Lab rats, not just Jessie. You all going into a dinner party trying to convince me that you think it's not going to kick off. I don't believe that. Every dinner party, something is going to kick off. You've all come out in the media and you said, we have to make something kick off, otherwise we're not allowed to go home. So you know full well that something is going to kick off at the dinner party. So all of you need to stop saying it.
Is Harrison right?
No, I don't think Harrison's right at all.
a little bit
I've
right.
tried really hard to show that. I think the dinner party might have just been like the final straw for us.
Yeah, I think the final straw was the vape in the kiss. And even before that, I don't think you guys were good. I think you like Jesse as a friend, and I think he thought you were hot at the start, but then he realized he didn't want to be with you either. So, yeah, it was never going to work. We can't blame Harrison for this. We can blame Harrison for many things, but we can't blame Harrison for the demise of this relationship. Remember the vape and kiss, Claire? You were a part of that with old mate Ads. Oh, I wonder if he's got a job yet. I love how I can say that about Adam and nobody will write... Nobody will write in the comments below, you're too mean to Adam, but say anything about Jesse. Sadly, I do think a little bit, just a little bit of you, Claire, did this to redeem, maybe not in the eyes of Australia, but redeem at least to the rest of the Love Lab rats that, you know, you're not a bad person. I don't think it's bad to try and redeem yourself. If you're doing it just for sort of PR purposes, that's gross. But I think a little bit of it was for redemption. You can't say it was all just for, you know, the goodness of your heart and wanting to make it up to Jesse.
Do you want to drink a water or vodka? I just don't feel like we've really even spoken about anything that happened on the retreat.
No, I agree. It's also
Nice
important
shirt
for us
on,
to
Duncan.
talk through all of it.
But we can do that on the couch.
Yeah.
They play the happy, lovely music after the drama because there's no drama, and then, you know, it's good. It's not good. You can tell between them that it's not good. I don't know how they haven't spoken at all since the dinner party. I know it was last night, but you think that when you come home, when you're in bed with your partner, don't you talk? That's where my partner and I get all of our talking done. Like, it doesn't have to be sexy, but you guys would talk about something. Anyway, it seems like Alyssa is still super butthurt because she wanted attention at the retreat and Dunks didn't give it. And we're still asking the question, what's your secret? Hey, Duncan. Hey, what's your secret? All right, so nothing is resolved. Not us knowing Duncan's secret or her getting attention and then him not giving it to her, and then the way that she spoke about him to the girls, which from what we saw was like way out of proportion. Like she blew it up a lot bigger than what it was. So nothing's been sorted. And they're on the couch first.
I didn't feel like we were the couple that we normally are. I didn't feel we spent much time together. Makes me feel like I'm not a priority. He's not thinking of me. Like when he was playing tennis, I just, you know, would want some sort of check-in or something. He said, well, you don't check in on me. And I said, well, I didn't know where you were. He goes, it's not a very big place.
She tells the story like solely from her like full emotions on how she felt the words. You know, you couldn't trust Alyssa in a court of law because she's not talking about facts. Alyssa's putting a lot of tone where it didn't feel like there was tone. Yeah, you knew where he was. He was playing tennis. You could have gone and spoken to him, but you wanted him to come and kiss the ring.
Okay, well, it's confronting for me to go to 6 men and be like, hey, babe, you okay?
They're not
And so you did know
randoms.
where I was. And then when I bring up not feeling like a priority, he would say, well, what priority am I going to be to you? And to me, that was kind of like a dig that my child's always going to be my first priority. And so he would be second priority.
Did you ask him any of these things, or are you just putting all this subtext to things just with your own brain? Because it sounds like you're putting them all there just with your own brain. I really want to see Duncan as the villain, because maybe that's his secret. Maybe Duncan's a real villain. Hey? I don't think he's the villain. I clearly think that we've missed bits and pieces, and maybe he snaps a little bit and has a bit of tone, but you did know where he was, and you could have gone up to him, and you make it sound like he was with a bunch of guys that you don't know or have had no contact with. He was playing tennis with a bunch of people you know and have hugged and kissed every time they've come into the dinner party. It all seems very strange to me, Alyssa. What are we missing?
Is that how you feel, Duncan?
Of course not. I know that her son will always be her first priority. It's not a concern for me. I'm happy to maneuver my lifestyle around Alyssa's. I've been pretty open about that to hopefully provide the reassurance I think is actually the bigger issue.
Duncan's really pretty, and she's never going to be able to trust someone like Duncan because he's too pretty, which means he could go anywhere. Duncan could leave her in a heartbeat because he's so pretty, you know. And him being pretty, well, that's not his secret. We can all see that. But Alyssa, all this stuff that you're bringing up just seems like it's all created in your own head. And it's wild to me that you just you can't step outside yourself for a second and see it.
I don't think that Alyssa got really upset about the tennis thing. I think it's a deeper seated issue around being vulnerable and being a single mother that manifests itself into picking apart my behaviour.
What do you want, Alyssa? I agree with Duncan here. Still want to know his secret, but anyway. I agree with Duncan. I think the arguments that she likes to have aren't actually about any of the real issues that she's upset about, which is super confusing for anyone in a relationship who's like, why are we arguing about these pans? This shouldn't be an argument. Oh, because it's not about the pans. Right. But Alyssa, you're a grown-up. And also, Duncan has sat there and said he has no problem being a parent to your child. He has no problem that you are a single parent. He is ready to adapt his life. He said all these things and you don't believe him. So what do you want him to do? Maybe he should just walk away because you're not going to believe anything. Or maybe we've missed a lot and you know Duncan's secret. So Rampola asks Duncan if Alyssa's behaviour and all this constant reassurance, if that's a red flag for him, essentially. And this is what he says.
Be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely a concern.
So what do you think about that, Alyssa?
I have a child.
Okay. Oh, she's off.
Just a minute.
Why is this an issue?
Just missing a baby.
I want to leave.
Hey, if you want to go, I understand. I want to be there for you.
I want to go. I really want to go.
Do you not want me to come? Huh?
Did she really say nothing to him then, or was that just editing? Because if she just said nothing to him while he's trying to talk to her once again, like a rational adult, and she just stormed off saying, I want to go, and didn't reply, that's an asshole move. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be a single mom and how many deadbeat men there are out there who are just real pieces of work. But this guy, as we've seen so far, hasn't been one of those dead shit guys. So why do you treat him so poorly all the time? I just don't, it's so frustrating. And you get so overly emotional. It feels like Alyssa needs to do a lot of work on Alyssa. How many times have we said that in this show? Before she's come to the experiment to meet her man. Did I say man or men? Well, could be multiples, who knows?
Alyssa just wants him to look her in the eyes and tell her they're going to work it out and they're going to be okay.
Yeah, but he does that, Lyndall. Oh, don't make me come for you, Lyndall, like Tay-Tay from Tassie did. He's given her reassurance. She doesn't believe it. Put in the comments below, Sweet Baby Angel, what am I missing with Duncan? Can you see the evil in him? What am I not seeing here?
She made it quite clear that she needed to leave this space and not wanted me near her.
This level of reaction seems a bit intense.
Even Rampola. This seems like a lot. Can we trust Rampola now because she is also single? So maybe she's thinking, Duncan, come over to Mummy Rampola.
Little things are big triggers and I'm struggling to work through that. You're upset that we didn't spend as much time in the afternoon together. Today, how about we spend the day together? And she said, I'll make that decision in the morning. In the morning, she said, I would like you to leave the room. I was told I wasn't allowed to talk to her.
I was told I wasn't allowed to talk to her. Oh my God, grow up, lady. I really need to know what we've missed. Because if she's just acting out like this, and again, I don't know what it's like to be a single mom, and with all the douchebags in the world, I don't understand. But all your past baggage doesn't give you an excuse to treat him like this. It doesn't. Well, I'll decide in the morning. We're not going to speak, and you need to leave. What? Because he didn't talk to you and he played tennis with the guys?
It's tough. It feels like I'm walking on eggshells.
Oh, she's back. Welcome back.
2 shillings. Oh, she's back. Oh, we almost got you in there, Rampola. Oh, but she returned. Oh, how frustrating. Oh, welcome back, Alyssa. It's so good to see you. So glad you're here on the couch.
It's hard for me to hear that my expectations are too much. I do need reassurance in order for me to feel like they're not just gonna run away.
I felt like on the couples retreat, no matter what I did was wrong. And there's a dynamic of your family life, which is obviously very understandable.
What do you mean, family life?
Like missing your child and being in this experiment and giving up that time. I think that weighs a lot. You second guess more things.
Please don't. Sorry you feel that way.
ALYSSA, what do you need from Duncan right now?
I don't need anything. My expectations are too high.
Oh, come on, God. Okay, all right. I got to stop for a second and I've got to try and see it from Alyssa's point of view. Okay, so I got to do this, otherwise I'm just going to yell and get mad, and I'm just so mad. Okay, so Alyssa is feeling conflicted because she doesn't trust Duncan, even though he hasn't given her any reason not to trust her, although it seems like she's created this reason that he didn't come and check on her and give her attention while on the couples retreat. That means that he doesn't like her. Okay, so she's feeling like that. She's a single mom, and her child is everything, and bringing a man into the equation is going to be super complicated. But she's like to jolt away from him when he tries to comfort her. That says that we've missed something, right? Or is she just that much of a drama queen? And when he tries to do anything to break down the wall that you keep putting up, or let down a little bit and then go, oh no, he didn't come and talk to me, he's playing tennis with the boys, put the wall up. The wall gets higher, the waterworks come on, you don't want to talk about these issues, and when he shares his feelings and emotions, you take offense. Even when he's explaining, like, he understands that it would be a lot for you, and you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean my family don't, mate? What do you mean? Oh, just stop being on the attack, Darl. Otherwise, you're going to be alone for a long time.
Makes me feel like a bad person.
I would encourage you not to use Duncan's description of his experience against him.
Yes.
You communicate what you need, and he communicates what he needs, and you both make space. And that's how you build a relationship. It goes both ways.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I don't think you know. I think just like Taylor. Oh, R.I.P. Taylor.
I think you want it to be Alyssa's way. Yeah, but remember, it's always Taylor's way.
I think that's what you want. You want it to be Alyssa's way. You want him to like worship you, everything that you do, constantly be around you and only leave when you want him to go away. Like you do want too much. And that is a problem.
I hope that we can work through it, and that's why I wrote stay.
I wrote stay as well. Can we get off the couch, please?
I wrote stay as well. Can we get off the couch, please? Now, granted, they might have been up there for a very long time, so she might have just been over it. But this petulant attitude, like, who would want to stay with that? All right, so it feels like nothing has really been resolved with this relationship again, and from an outsider's point of view, which is all we can really offer, is Duncan's trying and Alyssa is crying. I didn't mean it to rhyme, but it did, which makes it feel more correct to me.
This is something that we've been thinking about. Not big on the long distance. I don't really want to do the long distance. I want to be there, and I feel based on my career, I can make that move here.
So let's play the name that feeling game.
Feeling
Name
really good.
that
I think just
feeling.
feeling very safe. I think love is a bit too soon to say, to be honest.
Ditto. We're definitely in the process of falling in love. We definitely have strong feelings for each other.
Ollie's a little bit different on the couch. He seems a bit more drunk than what he does when he's just in the Sky Suite, the Love Brat maze with Tani. Does he have a few drinks to loosen him up before he has to sit down in front of Long John? We've got to back this couple. They're the only one that I would actually put money on at this stage. But joke's on you, I wouldn't put money on any of them this season. It's a shit show.
Honestly, retreat was just like, I don't know, it reminded me a lot of our honeymoon. I saw you like really happy and being outdoors, and that like leaked into our relationship as well. Whenever he would see me around the grounds, he'd come over and give me a kiss.
Hey?
Yeah, very good.
Didn't see it once. Didn't see them next to each other once on the entire retreat. Now, again, it's a highly edited reality show, but we've not seen anything from this couple, and when we do, it's only bad stuff. It's bad stuff, and it seems like a little bit toxic from maybe both sides, and then we just bury it under the rug for 4 episodes. Bad editing this season, Ender Moles. Really bad.
I'm feeling good. I think the only thing that concerns me, what's going to happen after this experiment. We both live 2 completely different lives. I think this is the next part in our relationship, is talking about what's going to happen.
Have you guys had this discussion yet?
No, we haven't.
I gotta say, just like Duncan and Alyssa spending all this time together and not really talking through any of their issues, and I understand that they are told to wait before they talk about anything decent, why haven't you spoken about the future and stuff? What's happening? You spend all this time together, unless you're like Dan in
Baseball down the gym and the beach.
Aren't you with your partner? So why aren't you talking about these things? Anyway, every single couple so far, stay. Stays across the board. Okay.
On the last night, there was a bit of a stunt pulled in front of the group. There was a comment made about our relationship being fake.
By who? What happened?
It was Melinda that said that this relationship is fake. She thought that I was being emotionally manipulated. That's why we broke up. But that doesn't mean that my feelings changed in any way.
I'm curious, Bronte. How do you feel about Harrison?
I'm still falling for Harrison.
Right. Hold on, I'm a bit confused. Last night you were in such a bad place and you were distraught. In fact, you ran out.
Yeah. You left. You never came back. You're not staying in the same place. He texts you saying we're donezo, and you keep saying that you're still falling for Harrison. Bronte, use your brain. Who is gonna believe this story? Nobody. Also, Dirty Harry, if anyone's pulling fucking stunts, it's you dickhead. Oh, God. So you lied about what Leighton said, and then it blew up in your fucking face. And your relationship has been fake. I can only imagine what you think now watching it back. The acting is terrible. And I've sat through a lot of community theatre. Like, I have sat through a lot of bad acting.
I guess for me, when I said I wanted to leave, it was because I was scared. I am an extremely emotional person. I've never been really good at communicating how I feel. I can understand why people do get, I guess, a little bit disappointed in me.
Disappointed? No, confused. Everyone's confused. Either say it's an act or say that you're not into Harrison, because no one's buying that you are there genuinely and that you're falling for Harrison. And remember, this is the day after the dinner party. So what has happened between Bronte storming out and now today? Now, they're not sharing a room either, for them to be in a place where they're like, no, we're still gonna try and make this work.
Just felt like it was a completely baseless accusation. I really reject the notion that I've ever manipulated Bronte. It just really offended me. I've actually never heard that before. I really struggled with that because the relationship's been very real for me.
So what's the problem?
Oh, I'm just gonna get so mad. And it's the first episode of the week. I can't be this mad at the start of the week. It's just not gonna end well come Wednesday. I'm going to be screaming. The neighbors will call the police. I just think Harrison is a terrible liar. I think he's a terrible liar. And I think that people try to see the good in him because everyone thinks, oh no, he's not a douchebag. He's probably a good guy. And he does do some things that might convince people that he's a good guy. But ultimately, I think he's a liar and I don't think he's a very good person. And I don't care that it's a highly edited show. That's not going to sway my decision. You don't think that you manipulate anybody? Watch any of your behaviour. And I'm not just talking about Bronte.
You know, I've noticed there has been a theme where Bronte does get worked up and emotional and she maybe exaggerates.
Hold on. What we're seeing here is the relationship issues are Bronte's.
Now you get it, Long John. It's all Bronte's fault, and then if it's not Bronte's fault, it's Mel's fault, and if it's not Mel's fault, it's Claire's fault, and then we're just like, I'll just keep moving down the list to deflect anything off me that I can. And I bet you anything, that the next thing he says is, well, you know, I'm at fault too sometimes. Because that is just classic, oh, I'm pretending that I think I'm a bit of the problem, but I'm not.
What behaviours in this relationship that create problems?
I don't know. Genuinely. All of our conversations and all my behaviour recently has been trying to pull Bronte into the relationship and see what a future would look like.
You don't see yourself as contributing to the problems?
Yeah. Look, if I do contribute to them, please, I'm open to hearing it. I'm not perfect. If you've got some feedback for me directly...
In what way are you not perfect?
I make mistakes.
What mistakes do you make?
I don't know.
No.
I genuinely don't know.
And that is an issue. It means you don't think you're making any.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy. I'm not saying Bronte's innocent in this at all. If you've watched any of the episodes previous, you would know that I think that Bronte is in on this and it's a whole act and it's just really terrible. But Harrison, you are so full of shit. It's insufferable that you can sit there and say, hey, if I am the problem, you point out how. And you're someone who claims that you love watching human behavior and how people act, and yet you're so cold and emotionless. I can't. It's actually doing my head in this year. Maybe this is it. I've said it a number of times this season. Maybe this is the last one. Maybe this is the season that's just cooked me. It's just so much nicer watching Real Housewives.
Yeah, my trust was kind of broken this week.
My trust was broken.
But we are two imperfect people that got matched in this experiment, doing our best. And I kind of want to keep doing our best. So I wrote stay.
Why?
I'm not ready to let this go. I wrote stay.
Why? Why? Aren't you broken up? Didn't you send her a text message saying we're done because she said, I want to go home? What is happening? Oh my God, this is the biggest crock of shit this season. I don't even have any comment on it. I'm just so fucking mad.
Bronte, you literally messaged me 2 days ago saying you were right, I'm done with him, I've had enough, I'm leaving.
In the time, babe, that's how I felt.
The way I see it is,
This will be good.
last night it's I'm leaving, I can't stand this Harrison's word when I'm done, I'm 100% done, and then it's like,
I hear what you're saying, but you don't understand what happens behind closed doors.
This isn't behind closed doors, this is in front of us all.
Oh, man. As Bronte's confidant, I feel in disbelief at what I'm listening to, because I was willing to go to war for you at that dinner party, Bronte, and I told you everything that Harrison had said, the fact he called you fake, and you cried to me and saying, I am done with him, all the girls were right. I feel stupid.
I know, babe.
I know, babe. That could have been editing, but if it wasn't, it's beautiful. The people who come to your aid when you're having a breakdown, this is how you treat them. When they're sitting there going, you have to explain this to us because it makes no sense. You want us to sit around you on a lounge and go, hey, I'm so glad that you see it now. We're so sorry that he's done this to you. And then now you're just going back to it and you want all of your friends just to be cool with it. Fucking Bronte in the bin. For the bin, Bronte and Dirty Harry.
I would like to address the emotional manipulator comment.
Hold on, Harrison. So I can get some clarity. Bronte, do you think that Harrison
has been emotionally manipulating you?
Idea.
I don't think Harrison has emotionally manipulated me and my feelings. No.
Okay, off you go. See you later. I don't know. I think I need to put like some sort of poll. Maybe I'll do it in the live, a poll in the channel where I don't cover any Bronte and Harrison stuff anymore. I'm fucking over it. I'm so done with this dumb storyline. These people who are not there for even remotely the right reasons. Sure, everybody's going to go on there and they're going to want a little bit of fame out there, because why else would they go on the show? But there's got to be some part of you that actually wants to be a good person. And unfortunately for Bronte and for Harrison, that's not true. So in the bin, I'm done. Maybe we just don't talk about them anymore.
I never, ever wanted to make you feel like you weren't good enough. I love showing her off. She's a great chick and she's beautiful inside and out.
Ladies, comment below. When a man that you're with, or a woman, or if you're a gay man and another man says this to you, or if you're gender fluid or non-binary and another human you're with says, I like to show them off. How does that make you feel? Because that would make me feel pretty gross. Not that anyone would want to show me off. I don't know. My partner likes to keep me trapped in the house. Yeah. That's a lie. I keep myself trapped in the house. I feel much better here. I like to show her off. Oh, God. It's just so... Did that noise explain it the way that Yeah, I think it explained it the way I needed it to.
That pissed some people off.
Yeah, it did. Oh, what does that mean? Thank you. Oh, what does that mean? Thank you for going along with this. a little bit longer to make me look like less of a dickhead. I don't know what the editors are trying to get us to think and feel. I don't understand. It's so confusing this season. I'm so mad.
We've kissed a few times.
Like good kisses?
Yeah, I mean, I rate my kisses. I think we've even seen each other,
Naked.
Yeah.
Ooh, so specific now, isn't it?
There hasn't been that adult hug or whatever, but I think we are on the right path.
Evelyn, do you feel you're sexually attracted to Rupert?
Yeah, I do.
Because he's genuine, he's funny, and he's a gentleman.
Yeah, I'm sexually attracted to Evelyn, yeah.
Any particular time or at any time?
Nah, it could be any moment of the day. It's all good.
Okay, well, I have no idea where they're going to end up. I don't necessarily think it's true love, but at least they're not trying to be super toxic with each other. So that's a good start. Anyway, they also both write stay. So just in case you're keeping track, nobody has left yet or even attempted to leave. I tell you what, for the experiment, the results are pretty astounding.
Seemed like a bomb was dropped and then left, and it just was meant to explode in our relationship. I knew he had my back.
Of course it was.
And I have someone in my room telling me these things that I know are not true. And when I pulled Leighton aside to talk to him, it kind of created a bit of turmoil.
That was a big thing to have to deal with.
Seems like John is definitely not on Dirty Harry's side when it comes to this whole palaver. But also, Mel, you said that you knew that Leighton had your back. I don't know if you knew that. You were screaming at him at the retreat that you wanted him to have your back, even though you and Evelyn were eavesdropping and you were clearly in the wrong. I don't know how I feel about Mel. Like, I love that she generally has self-awareness and she calls out behavior when it's bad, but I don't know. With her and her relationship, I think she's a little bit blind to some things, as we all are.
I think he came in pretty fierce and pretty strong. It felt to me like he was really protecting our relationship. Don't come past this wall.
How did that sit with you, that Harrison had said that to Mel?
Not well, and I said to Harrison that's not called for. Because if I fundamentally disagree with something, I make that evident, and so that was very disappointing to hear some of the things that I heard last night. I'm always going to have Mel's back if I feel that she's been disrespected.
I mean,
I've always backed you.
But you haven't.
A little bit of a turnaround from before when you said you knew that Leighton had your back, but then, well, not always. Now, let's be honest. If we're talking about the time at the retreat, you did eavesdrop and you and Evelyn were in the wrong. So you should have just apologized and said, you know what, I shouldn't have done that. Unfortunately, you wanted Leighton to stand up for you against Harrison, even though in that instance you were in the wrong. Dirty Harry was trying to beat it up and deflect everything off him. You know what I mean? Like, he was always trying to make anyone else look like the bad guy because that's his full-time job in his life, I would assume. But you were still in the wrong.
Is that true, Leighton?
No, I don't ever back somebody else's side over Mel's, and I'll always have your back. The problem for me is that it constantly takes away from us being able to work on a relationship. I'm an analytical thinker and Mel's quite emotional.
Leighton, you're taking me back to the boardroom.
Yeah, and John, stop talking about as if the boardroom's a bad thing. Some people like that sort of full down light, harsh light on your face. Sometimes not air conditioned enough, sometimes way too much. The chairs that go back just on an awkward angle. Some people find boardrooms sexy. Maybe I'm one of them. Stop talking them down, Long John. Anyway, they both stay. And for me, at least they seem like a real couple who aren't trying to be toxic to each other also.
The straw that broke the camel's back was a comment made by Harris and Claire only writing stay to protect her self-image. Here is another example where, although I'm not back in the moment watching Claire and Adam connect, I'm still put back in a moment where I'm reminded of that.
Where do you think this change came from?
I think it definitely came from Harrison's comment. Harrison wanted to deflect the pressure he may have been facing at the table.
It was when you opened your mouth about our relationship.
I'm sorry, this is my turn to speak, so.
Listen, we know that Harry did that just to deflect. Harry can roll his eyes and huff and puff on the couch all he fucking wants. That's his full-time job. He's not very good at it for somebody who does it full-time, but, you know, we all know someone who's really shit at their full-time job. Me and YouTube. But Claire, whether or not Harrison brought it up or something else just triggered Jesse, you were always going to end up at the same place. Jesse is never going to forgive you, A, because he doesn't care that much to, and B, he doesn't have to. Like, he doesn't have to, and he can be your friend and you can have fun times, but He also wants you to be like diehard into him like Alyssa wants Duncan. And he doesn't feel that because we all know that you aren't. So we can't fully blame Dirty Harry for this. It was eventually gonna happen. He just sped it up with his little deflecting ways. And I just can't sit here and have Jessie be this giant victim anymore. I just can't. I can't watch it. For all the Jessie lovers, okay, write whatever you want. I'm just the worst to Jessie apparently all the time.
What was your objective when you made the comment?
Exactly the same objective I had when I was going to tell Jessie about the Adam affair. And that is that I felt like Jessie deserves to know the truth. And I heard a truth from Bronte.
What was the truth that Bronte told you about?
Claire is essentially using Jessie's time in this experiment to rebuild her image.
How do we know this to be true, to be fact?
I don't think Bronte would lie to me.
But we don't know that it's true?
Correct.
You've thrown a grenade into this relationship and blown it apart based on something that you're not 100% sure about.
Yes.
Long John, you know the person who's sitting right next to Dirty Harry? That is Bronte, in case you didn't know. I know there's been so many. It's like RuPaul with drag queens. I don't expect you to know all of their names, but Bronte is sitting right there. So I just reckon we could ask her, did Claire say that to you? Why didn't we ask that? I'm assuming we did and it's been edited out because it either makes Bronte look bad or Claire look bad. But don't tell me you didn't ask the question. Bronte's right there. And Harrison, interesting way to word that you pulled Jessie aside to tell him about the affair. Sorry, I say affair. I'm starting to buy into this bullshit narrative that it was some sort of affair. It was a kiss at a pub. The worst part was the gaslighting and lying afterwards. But the act itself, Jessie, stop it. Look, everyone has a different line on what cheating is, but a little kiss and a vape, I can't.
After finding out about the kiss, I've had Jessie's back so hard.
I know that I wear full responsibility for what I did. I did not stick around for my image. I couldn't care less what anyone thinks of me. Yeah, it's just a shame.
For the producers who wanted their bonus to keeping you there longer, it's just a real shame. But you guys can't stay because Jesse's not into you because he knows that you're not into him.
You have the ability to turn this around. You think that's something that you might be able to do, Jessie?
No. Claire cheated on me. I have stretched myself so much.
Who am I to argue if you stretched yourself far or not? I don't know who you are as a person. I don't like the way that you speak about women with all the bits and pieces that they need to keep you happy. I don't think it's right what Adam and Claire did to you. That we're gonna just call it cheating is crazy. As if it's some giant affair. But anyway, look, everyone has their own lines. And, I'm glad that Jessie has said no because I'm hoping that's a leave. And Claire, I swear to God, if you write stay, if either of you write stay, but Claire, if you write stay, I'm just gonna scream so loud that someone's gonna think something bad's happening in my house.
Now let's get to the decision.
I wish I had something more profound to say.
No, he's out.
I chose to leave.
Good.
I also wrote leave.
Yes! Oh, why are we shocked? What?
Jessie, I'm curious. If you hadn't attended last night's dinner party, would you have written that?
No.
There's a lesson here. I'm talking to all of you, but particularly Harris. You throw grenades like that, they have a ripple effect, and this is the fallout we've got here in front of us now.
Long John, look, Harry's a piece of shit, but we can't sit here and blame Harry for Claire's kiss and a vape and Jesse's decision to not be able to get over it. Like, that's his decision. That's a choice. And he said it was a choice before all the Jessie lovers come for me. It's his choice to either forgive or not to forgive, and he's never going to be able to forget it or really forgive it, I don't think. So here we are. That's not Harrison's fault, but that does not mean that Harrison is not a piece of shit. All right, thank goodness. We've lost another couple. We're not losing as many as we should, but we've lost a couple that I've found quite annoying. So that's good. For all the that's the end of the episode. For all the Jessie lovers out there, put all your comments about how biased I am towards him. It really does feed the algorithm. Even when you thumbs down the video, it's really great. So instead of you like personally sending me a DM, just put it in the comments, because at least that like helps me. To everybody else, Thank you to everybody who has signed up to our new premium platform, rehashed.com.au, where you can get premium content, but you can also get a freemium version, which will be free always, and that's where you can chat with other sweet baby angels about the shows we are watching. You can find it all at rehashed.com.au. That is it. Hopefully you have given this video a thumbs up. Hopefully you've commented below with all the stuff that I've done wrong to Jessie. And I will see you in the live and the next episode. Bye-bye.